Yeah, okay, all right. No fear, no fright. So many possibilities out here, right? A lot of people don't see clear, so I'm just trying to like bring more abundance, like make people more aware, make people more woke, make people see that this is not a joke. All right, okay, something new for today. Getting into the topic, as I would say, millionaire mindset misunderstandings. So, what I know about this is comes down to planning, comes down to mindset. Sometimes it feels like it's not the time yet, but just stick to what you got to do and what you know, and the truth will show through. So, can tell you what I know about this. Still learning, but no regrets on the mistakes I made in the past. Just gotta do what I do and make everything last, cause never giving up. So, getting into the topic, why is this important? Really, mindset is very important, right? When it comes to this, there's a lot people miss. So I'd say that mindset is even more important than working hard, right? Like just, a lot of people say like work hard and then everything's going to work out. But from what I understand, like, you could be just spinning your gears over and over. And if you don't get this mindset right, I mean, you're never going to see the light at the end of the tunnel. So there's really a lot of misconceptions, especially when I read comments, about videos, about similar videos, talking to people about this concept. Even people, who seem to have somewhat of a grasp on this. I can tell there's like a lot of levels. So, preview of what I'm going to get into is talking about how becoming a millionaire does not have to be difficult or feel like a hassle. A lot of people think that if they just focus on becoming a millionaire, that it's going to happen, but there's a lot more to that. And really, you don't need to know exactly how you will become a millionaire, right? Like, you don't need a step-by-step guide. It's really like how you perceive things and let your mind show you the way. So the more you understand this, the better. And conditioning your mind to become rich is not some type of weird or strange new idea. It's never too late for someone to become a millionaire, really. Like no age limit, like can happen at any time. Once you get these understandings in your mind, the quicker it's gonna be. And that's really what I see. So go ahead and subscribe if you haven't already. Coming through with new information steady. Go ahead and hit the one subscribe button wherever it is. Click the bell notification. Stay in tune to the station. So really my own personal experience with this is I used to think it was impossible for me to be rich unless like something out of my control happened, like winning the lottery, right? I believe that the only way to get rich was to get good grades at a good college and then work my way up some type of corporate ladder structure. This was what I was conditioned to believe. This was how my mind was taught to perceive. This is how my subconscious worked. So, when I started my first business, many people told me that it was not possible, that there's still people there's still people today who would say that I'm crazy, delusional for thinking that I can make my current goals a reality. But that's just a fractionality, because I've gotten a lot better over time at ignoring the doubts, the fears, staying clear from that type of mindset. I understand for some people it's not their time yet. So if they've got, their own kind of frustrations or fears that they want to put on me, that's something that I don't need to be. So when I first started learning about the way the mind can cultivate what I want in life, I thought I understood it very well, but I was really only scratching the surface, right? Like I had a real general idea of it, but I realized like there's so much more to it, like so much more I had to learn. Still learning as I speak, still learning as I go, but staying in the flow. So just still learning how to master this mindset. But yeah, I know I've made a lot of progress. So getting into the meat of the topic. Becoming a millionaire does not have to be difficult or feel like a hassle, right? It's none of this like, work hard every day, put in that overtime, like work I mean, there's a way to do it if you do it like that. I mean, it seems to me like it'd be like the tough path. So I'm just trying to make it easy when it comes to the math, like adding all the equations up, looking at all the different ways and stuff. Doing something you enjoy is much more likely to make you rich than doing something you don't enjoy, right? Like basically, if you don't enjoy what you're doing, it's gonna feel like a hassle. It's gonna feel really difficult. Just like working with people you enjoy is much more likely to make you rich than working with people you don't get along with. Really, that's all going to affect your mind, because if you're not in like a positive mindset, if you're not seeing things like it's your time yet, if you're thinking that, you know, people are bringing you down every day and putting you in a, you know, like some type of way, that's no way to be. And that's just going to slow your progress down. It all comes down to, you know, whether you're happy, whether you're inspired, whether you're feeling good, how you feel. Just positivity goes a long way. So keep on listening to what I got to say. You want to be able to take the time to focus on becoming rich. This should be something you enjoy and not feel like a waste of time, right? If you're just like struggling and you just think that you just need to struggle more and struggle more, well, I don't really think, for me, that's really the way I'm trying to be. That's just going to bring your mindset down. That's just going to, you know, make you frown. And that's just going to make the abundance and all the riches not want to come around, because, you know, it's like attracts like, right? If you're grumbling every day, you're going to be around people that are that way. But if you're happy, you know, same thing, vice versa, however you want to say it. So a lot of people think that if they just focus on becoming a millionaire, that like it's that easy. That's how the whole thing works, right? Like you just gotta like focus on being rich. Well, like what I'm saying is a lot more to this, because really, like, you know, you could sit there and like visualize every day yourself rich, and that's gonna help a lot. Focus on where you want to be, what you want to see, but also the mindset is really what you need. So really, like, you know, you want to imagine yourself as being a millionaire, as being rich, whatever you want, and you got to believe that it's possible or necessary. Like that's something that I've really struggled with in the past, is like had a lot of doubts, had a lot of people doubting me. At times, like I'd start to see like, oh, okay, well maybe they're right, maybe this isn't gonna work. But now what I realize is like, you know, if I entertain those thoughts, those doubts, then that really like makes things not come about. So I'm trying to be about where I want to be and what I want to see. So what I learned is only seek advice from someone who has already done what I'm trying to do, what you're trying to do. So if people come through with their doubts and everything, I mean, you know, if they haven't done it already, like why would I take that advice? Why would I take that on? Now, if like somebody that's already taken the path I've taken, and they see something I'm doing and they think that it's wrong, I would be grateful for this information. Like I wouldn't get mad about it. I would be grateful for their opinion, and I know that it would be in a constructive way. So conditioning your mind to becoming rich is not some type of weird or strange new idea, right? Like this is not some type of like, you know, thing that like just came about, like people just started writing books about it 10 years ago and it's some kind of new thing. People have been using this type of mental conditioning for thousands of years all over the world, right? Different cultures, different religions, they all kind of phrase it a little bit differently. But I believe the more I study this, at the end of the day, they all really have the same type of understanding. Like it's the same root, same core. So getting into more, as long as you have a reason why you want to become rich, it is possible. Like that reason is pretty big, because that reason is something that should motivate you. That reason is something that should make you feel good. Like if you're doing it for good reasons, no matter the weather, no matter the season, it's all gonna make sense. You can just like focus. Anytime you start to catch yourself like having doubts, having negative thoughts, you can just think about what you want and what that's gonna bring, and the positivity that, you know, that you're gonna feel from it. This is not like some science thing either, right? Like, you know, I've said before, psychologists, you know, Western psychology has been studying the mind for a couple hundred years. They really don't understand the majority of it. They have a very small understanding of how it works, how the brain works, how thoughts work. how all this stuff works. So there's no like scientific theory really that can explain this. So I mean, that's what makes it hard for a lot of people, is what I see. It's something that you just have to believe, and it's something that a lot of people just don't seem to want to grasp because they can't see the math, they can't see like the physical science behind it. But once you really try it and you really put it to work, I mean, that's all it takes. Like, you'll see the results. You know, you just got to stick to it. And you know, for some people, it's more of a process than other. It all depends on like the level of conditioning that your mind has been through. You know, the level of subconscious, really thoughts that are holding you back is different with everybody. So you need to know yourself well. You need to know like what your blocks are, what your mental like negativity patterns are, stuff like that. And the more you understand that over time, the more it's going to enhance your mind. So really, yeah, the last point I want to make is it's never too late for someone to become a millionaire. Never too late for someone to improve their life, get whatever they want, see what's right. If you think that it's too late for you to become rich, then that will most likely become your reality, right? Like, if you truly believe, like, you know, I'm whatever age, like if I start investing now, I don't see how that's ever gonna work. I mean, then like right there, that's two things, right? You think that it's too late for you to be rich, and this is something that I hear a lot. And the other thing is, like, then you think that like you have to invest, right? Like that's really like a huge society thing that I see, is like people talk about saving for retirement, and they're not gonna be able to retire unless they invest a certain amount at a certain age and everything like that. But there's so many more ways, so many possibilities out here, right? A lot of people don't see clear, so I'm just trying to like bring more abundance, like make people more aware, make people more woke, make people see that this is not a joke, make people see the reality. So as long as you have a reason that you want to become rich, that's like so important. It's possible. Become aware of what amount of income makes you feel comfortable, right? Like, think about like what kind of income do you think that you need just to like have all your basic needs met, right? And that's what a lot of people operate on. Like, a lot of people find that they're like cruising along and they hit that number, whatever it is, and then they just kind of like stay there, right? So you have to find out, you have to know for yourself like what that number is, and it's different for everybody else. But once you become aware of that, you can become more aware of how your mind works, and you can change up the number so you can make it a higher number. And then once you convince your mind that it's a higher number, that you know, where you're trying to see at whatever age or whatever point in life, you can really just keep climbing up and up until you hit it, and then you'll know what it means to be on the right mindset. So yeah, that's pretty much it for today. That's about all I got to say. Hope you got some value of what I had to tell you. Everything is good. Hope everything is good with you. And whatever you do, know that you got to stay true to yourself and figure out what creates real wealth for you, because it's not always the money. There's different ways to make this work. Possibilities are limitless. With that, thanks for watching. Go ahead and like the video if you like. Smash the like button. Subscribe. Leave any comments of any, you know, either whether it's a misunderstanding, something that you believe that maybe you think what I'm saying isn't true, or something that you want to look more into, so I can really try to clear up any more misconceptions that are out there. So yeah, that's it for today. I'm out, without a doubt.